I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this is your midday market update. Well, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are both down. We're seeing a little bit of selling going on there. The Dow is up, though not as much, trimming a little bit of those gains that we had earlier this morning. What we're going to talk about now are those car sales. Ford and Chrysler came in pretty good with some nice increases. GM not so much. Joining me now is Keith Bliss from Cuttone. So Keith, I noticed when I'm looking in all this is that we saw the prices go up for the cars. That hasn't slowed anyone down from buying.
Well, that's right. So the consumer confidence is up a little bit. People are feeling better about their jobs. The unemployment rate rather, is starting to come down. But also we're still going through this rejiggering of the inventory, the car inventory a little bit at the homes. People are still getting rid of their older cars. The average lifespan on a car was 8 to 10 years. So despite the modest price increases, which the car manufacturers need to push through, quite honestly, it's like any other product or commodity, people needed to go out and buy new vehicles, and that's what we saw in this year.
They are buying some big cars, though. Clearly, gas prices are not affecting. We're seeing a lot of those F-150 trucks. Those are gas guzzlers. But you know what? Also seeing a lot of Jeeps. And I know Jeeps really hold their value.
Well, that's right. So if you look at the December auto sales figures, and by the way, for this year, this was the best year since 2007, so we're back to pre-recession levels. But if you look at the December sales figures, most especially, it was mostly light trucks. So you're absolutely right. People have gotten accustomed to $3 a gallon gas or $3.50 a gallon gas, and it's not stopped in the way. I think people look at the vehicles, and now that they've gotten accustomed to paying literally 200% more for their gasoline, they need cars and vehicles that have utility for them. So there's a lot of people in this country that need light trucks for whatever they're doing, so that's what they're buying. But I think despite, back to the auto sales, I think despite the fact that December was a little bit of a weaker month, it was a very good year for all the manufacturers, both the U.S. and the foreign manufacturers.
Do you think we're going to see that continue into 2014? Again, you mentioned the lifespan of the cars. It seems like people still have some cars to get off their driveways.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, a lot of things are going to impact that. What is the employment situation going forward? Are we going to continue to see gains there? What is the interest rate environment going to look like? We think it's going to be flat, so that should help auto sales. And more importantly, though, what is consumer confidence going to look like? Auto sales are a leading indicator for what consumers are thinking and how their spending habits are going to be 6, 9, 12 months down the road. So based upon what we saw the last quarter of 2013, I would expect that auto sales should continue on their trend. Will they break the record back to 16.1 million units like they did in 2007? It's tough to tell. I mean, we got close to it this year, but as long as the manufacturers keep putting out good products, as long as people need to keep turning over their own vehicle because it's old, then we should see the manufacturers do very well in 2014 as well.
All right. Well, I know Keith Bliss went out and bought a car, and he helped out those car manufacturers this year. That's Keith Bliss from Cuttone, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.